Hello there, guys and girls. What is going on, my lovely people? I'm here to talk about something today that obviously has been big in the Overwatch community since they've only up until very recently they'd only released one character in Anna. She's gone down very well in both the competitive and the casual scene as being a well all-rounded healer. So we're in anticipation of the next character that was actually going to be revealed. Most people suspected it would be Sombra. There were a few doubters. They were proved wrong. It was indeed Sombra. She was announced at Blizzcon a few days ago. I think it was 4 days ago now. And I just want to talk a little bit about what I think and how I think she's going to be in the game and in competitive, where I think she's going to have a place in competitive and in tournaments. So we're going to have a little bit of an overview. I might split this up into 2 or 3 videos. So I'm going to do one video like this, which is my opinions. I'm probably going to do another video talking about her powers in depth and what I think, and whether she needs any adjustments, because otherwise this video is going to be like 20 minutes long. I do not want it to be that long. So we're going to just have a quick overview of her abilities. The correct tab. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to read it out. We have stealth and debilitating attacks make Sombra a powerful infiltrator. Her hacking can disrupt her enemies, ensuring they're easy to take out, while her EMP provides the upper hand against multiple foes at once. Sombra's ability to translocate and camouflage herself makes her a hard target to pin down. Right, it's worth noticing that her role is an offense, and she's been given 3-star difficulty, like Genji. So that's what we can expect. Her abilities. Her main one is obviously the machine pistol that she carries. It's fully auto, and I believe there's 60 shots in the mag, and it actually does a fair amount of damage. I'm going to try and find an example to put up on screen behind me talking. But I've seen a few clips of her actually melting tanks quite significantly. But her health pool is obviously only 200. So you have to be aware that she's going to be a bit squishy. We have Hack. Sombra hacks enemies to temporarily stop them from using their abilities, or hacks first aid kits to make them useless to her opponents. Now, there's something about this ability that hasn't been mentioned that I've seen in action and I can attest to is actually a fact. So any health packs she hacks spawn every 2 seconds for the duration of the hack. So if you hack a massive 200 health pack, it will respawn every 2 seconds for the duration of that hack, while at the same time meaning that your opposite team cannot use it. So as you can imagine, that has some interesting strategic applications. You can hack a health pack near to where your team is pinned down, and they have an almost limitless supply of health for that time, almost making Sombra not a healer character necessarily, but giving that multi-dimensional use to her playstyle. Now the other half, hack enemies to temporarily stop them from using their abilities, seems very effective. I've seen it being used to... I think the only example I've seen, I'm going to try and find some more, the only example I've seen is her hacking a Roadhog to stop the Whole Hog ultimate in the middle of it. And as far as I'm aware, hacking enemies means that they can't use any of their abilities. So for instance, if you hack a soldier, it can't use Biotic Grenade. If you hack a Roadhog, it won't be able to use its hook or its healing ability, self-healing ability. So I think we can agree that I reckon maybe this will get some adjustments in PTR, because she's currently live in PTR now. Unfortunately, I don't have access to PTR, but it's live in PTR at the moment, and I'm sure we'll see some adjustments to this ability, maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. Her next ability is Thermo-Optic Camo. Sombra becomes invisible for a short period of time, during which her speed is boosted considerably. Attacking, using offensive abilities, or taking damage disables the camouflage. So it seems like Thermo-Optic Camo is purely going to be used as a means of escape when out of sight, and a flanking ability. So you'll see this combined with the other ability that I'm about to talk about, but the taking damage or firing your weapon or doing anything offensively while using it shuts it down. It's going to be of limited use in the middle of a firefight. I have in fact seen a clip of someone trying to escape a firefight in the middle of it using the Thermo-Optic Camo and gets instantly shut down. A Reinhardt just hits her once with the hammer, camo comes off, she gets melted. Okay, because you can keep track of where she is once you know where she disappeared from. There's only so fast she can move, but as a means of escape, if you're trying to run away and you round a corner and that the person following you hasn't rounded that corner yet, using the Thermo-Optic Camo is going to be a legitimate means of getting away, because I have seen it in action. It does raise your speed a lot. It does more for it. It's faster than Reaper's Wraith form makes Reaper, so she does walk very fast after that. It's basically a sprint. Her next ability is Translocator. This is the big one. This is the big doozy that we saw in the game, in the animated short, and as she used to great effect in the gameplay trailer. Sombra tosses out a Translocator beacon. She can instantly return to the beacon's location while it is active, including mid-fight. Including when it's in mid-flight. Sorry, but mid-fight also applies. So essentially, picture this like Anna's biotic grenade. You throw it, and wherever it lands, once you have 15 seconds after it triggers, is the time I checked. 15 seconds after it triggers to hit the button and return to wherever the location is of that landing. Now, as you can imagine, this has some interesting applications. You can use it as... So, imagine that you've managed to camo your way behind a group of enemies. Before you go and attack them, you chuck the locator somewhere out of reach to them. You jump in, unleash your 60 bullets of mayhem from the machine pistol, do some mad DPS across the back line. Obviously, they're going to notice you, so let's say, what's the best example? A Genji turns around and decides to have an issue with what you're doing. You hit the button, you go straight to wherever the translocator had landed, and you're safe. You're easy. You're Gucci. You're done. So it's a good ability, but it also can be used for other applications. You can use it to reach high locations on top of buildings, like Dorado would be an example. Coming out of spawn, you chuck it on top of the building, you're up there instantly. I think the example in the gameplay trailer was actually on Dorado, where he threw it behind the enemy Reinhardt and teleported behind them and got a couple of picks off. So this is the best ability on her, and the one that's going to be in most active use, I feel. But it's not that I think is going to make her... I said I'd do a video about her usefulness in comp, and I am going to do that, but we're going to say right now, I think she will be a very common pick in competitive setups and tournament scenes, purely because of her ultimate ability, which is called EMP. Sombra discharges electromagnetic energy in a wide radius, destroying enemy barriers, shields, and hacking all opponents caught in the blast. So I think I've got a tab up here. I'm going to put all this stuff on screen. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I can't find a number on how long the EMP lasts, but essentially, picture this: you've managed to camo or translocate your way behind the entire enemy defense. You get a bit of high ground, and you can see their entire team. Now, apparently, her ultimate works on line of sight, not just distance. Obviously, there's going to be a distance in there as well, but it works a lot like Lucio's abilities, where you have to be able to see them for it to work. So, it doesn't work through walls, unfortunately, like May's ultimate does, but we can move past that for now. So imagine you've camoed or translocated your way behind the enemy lines. They're all standing behind a Reinhardt. Your entire team has their ultimates up. You assume your opponent's team has their ultimates up. You use your EMP. All the shields go down. That includes any barriers applied by Zarya. Reinhardt's shield. Any shield from a Lucio ultimate disappears and dissipates instantly. Any targets whose health pool have like a makeup of shields. So Symmetra, any shields applied by Symmetra. No one uses Symmetra, but you get what I mean. Zenyatta's health will drop to like 30 or 20 or whatever it is after his shields disappear. No one that the EMP hits can use their abilities, so Roadhog can't use his self-healing. Mercy can't heal anyone. Mercy can't... No one can use their ultimates, so Mercy wouldn't be able to res. Lucio wouldn't be able to use his. Zenyatta's not going to be able to use his ability. Zarya won't be able to shield anyone. Genji can't use his ultimate. Genji can't deflect. Genji can't... You get the idea. You can't do anything once this EMP hits you for a certain amount of time. I will try and find out, before I edit the video and release it, what the time is. You should see on screen the prompt, and you should see some gameplay while I'm talking going on with the EMP. But imagine that. So where was I? So your entire team has their ults. Your Sombra has just used her ult and deactivate everyone else's. You're free to go to town. You really don't have to use ultimates unless you've got like a Graviton Surge to drop in the middle of them to get them all together. That would be great. But there is no defending. May can't go inside her icicle, can't use an ice wall. McCree can't flashbang or dodge roll. So you're seeing where I come from. It sounds amazing, and I think it could be a game changer for the competitive scene. It might negate the need for anti-ultimates, if that makes sense. Because if Lucio ults to stop a Genji blade, Sombra can do exactly the same with her AMP, plus taking out any other member of the team around. I feel like it could negate a lot of the ultimates that people use to cancel out, like a Blizzard, for instance. So it's good. It's good. Her I haven't talked about her passive. Her passive skill, I don't think is actually listed here. Her passive skill is perfectly lended to the offense class and her character as a whole. It's I don't know what the name is because it's not listed here for some reason on the Play Overwatch site, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But any enemy below 50% health or below can be seen through a wall anywhere on the map, not within a certain radius. So let's say you've got Genji and a Sombra. Genji goes behind the enemy lines, gets both the Lucio and the Ana down to 40% health. The Sombra on your team will then be able to see that, chuck a Translocator behind, pick them both off without putting the Genji in more risk, and then disappear again. The amount of communication opportunity there is between Sombra and other flankers is unreal. It's open to discussion how useful Sombra is going to be in a team that doesn't run flankers. Most tournament teams run a Genji or a Tracer or both, but in casual competitive play, public, you don't see. A lot of people don't pick a Genji because they're not confident enough, and a lot of people don't pick a Tracer because they underestimate how useful she is. So, if there's not another flanker around, I don't know how useful Sombra will be, but as I've said before, her machine pistol does more damage than you would expect, and the clip goes on for longer than you would expect. 60 bullets is a lot of bullets at the rate the machine pistol fires, and it's accurate. You have to be a similar sort of range to Tracer to get the proper DPS potential out of Sombra's pistol, from what I've seen. But overall, as you can tell, you can see what I think of. She's a flanker. She's not going to be much use. I don't think she'll be much use in an open 1v1, because her hack ability isn't instant, for instance. You have to actually... The hack ability has to lock onto a target, and you have to hold the button down. If you get hit by any sort of damage while you're hacking someone, it gets interrupted. And I think it's a second. I think you have to hold the hack onto someone, so 1. Like that, yeah? That sort of time, that sort of gap. If you get hit by any damage in between then, it's not going to work. So you can't use hack in an open... So say a Sombra is in an open fight with a Roadhog, right? Knows the Roadhog hook and healing are both up. Tries to hack the Roadhog in the middle of open battle. All the Roadhog has to do is hit it with one one speck of its radius-based gun, and Sombra won't be able to hack, and you've lost 30-40 health from a decent distance. So she's going to be subterfuge, and I don't see a lot of teams running her for the entirety of a game, because once you've got a few pick-offs and you've done the flank, teams are going to expect it and start building their team around the fact that they know there's a Sombra behind them somewhere all the time. Winston as per is going to be a great counter to a Sombra. But yeah, that's the abilities down. I'm going to be doing another video because I found a website that goes over the powers and the loopholes and the durations as they stand currently in PTR. So this is all open to change. But I'm going to do another video on the bounce, going over all that sort of stuff, what I think. And then, yeah. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed me rambling on about nothing. I don't do a lot of these videos. I've done one on Battlefield. I think that's it. I think I did one on Battlefield that lasted half an hour. I don't know what the recording time on this one is currently. 19 minutes. So I will be cutting this down, so you might not hear everything I've had to say. Yeah, if you have enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. These all sort of information and opinion videos are strange to me. It's just me talking into a microphone. So let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of Sombra down below. Let me know if you're going to be using her, or if you are using her in the PTR right now, be sure to let me know how she plays, and if anything's changed, and if you disagree with anything I've said. But for now, that's going to be me. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Mine's been Dodge Gaming. You've all been awesome. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!